What a game. You say Kikuchi, I say 7-0. What a great game. To perfection. And Ronel Blanco shut the door. Let's go right now.
Jainel Diaz, this is Locked On Astros.
Hello and welcome to Locked On Astros, your daily Astros podcast. Here are your hosts, Eric the Man Huysman and Brett H-Town Wheelhouse Chancey.
Hey there, everybody, and welcome into another special edition of Locked On Astros. I know some of y'all maybe some of y'all won't be here until after Michael Connor is done. But look, you know me, I'm Htown Wheelhouse. This is our second live of the day for Locked On Astros. Why? Because no show does more. You can find me at Htown Wheelhouse on X, Instagram, and TikTok. You can find me at Stros411 on X and on Facebook. You can also find me at Back to the Bullpen on X, on Instagram, on YouTube, on iHeartRadio, just wherever you get your podcasts. Check out Back to the Bullpen. Check out Locked On Astros. Make sure you make Locked On Astros your first listen every single day. And this episode is brought to you by Game Time. Game Time has an amazing interface, an amazing app. And when you use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB, you get $20 off your first purchase. It's the only way I purchase tickets. I even purchased my Joe Coy tickets last night. Went and saw him. He was absolutely phenomenal. Love that. So let's get into it. What a game. This is a game that it's not like you had to have it, but you wanted the series win. And you knew with Yusei Kikuchi going for the Houston Astros that things probably were going to go really well. And, he didn't have his best start, but he still had a decent line. 6 innings, 7 hits. He did give up 2 home runs, 4 earned runs, no walks. That's excellent. 6 strikeouts, 99 pitches, 67 for strikes. That's a huge clip. He also had 13 swings and misses. Now, let's talk about what pitches he used most frequently. Yusei Kikuchi threw 46 sliders, 39 four-seam fastballs, 9 curveballs, and 5 changeups. He produced 10 whiffs on his slider, and he produced 3 whiffs on his four-seam fastball. 25 swings, 10 whiffs on the slider. That's a 40% whiff rate. That's huge. That right there is huge. And even when you look at the box score for this, when you look at the line, okay, the Arizona Diamondbacks, they struck first. They bit first, if you want to use the snake analogy, up 2-0. The Astros came back 2-1. Then it was 3-1. Then the Astros tied it. Actually, they went up. It was 5-3. And then it was 5-4. And then you had the 6th inning, score 5 more runs. The game ends up being 11-5. You had a late inning Jose Altuve home run, and the Astros simply did the job. Everybody got their fix in. Nobody gave up a run beyond Caleb Ferguson and Yusei Kikuchi. Abreu only pitched 1/3 of an inning, but that's okay. He didn't give up anything. And Ronel Blanco. We'll get to Ronel Blanco at the end of this show because I think that needs to be talked about. But Yusei Kikuchi, think about this. He is now 8-9 on the season. This guy, when he came in, okay, if you haven't done this, I would encourage you to do this. Go to MLB.com and look at their splits, okay? In August, 3-0 with Houston. In September, 1-0. Prior to that, Yusei Kikuchi's best month was in April at 2-1 with a 2.45 ERA. His ERA skyrocketed to 6.26 in June with a 2-4 record. Then in July, he was 0-1 with the 6.59 ERA. So this guy was not exactly dealing when he was in Toronto. He gets to Houston, August, nails it down 3-0. September, again, 1-0 so far. Yes, he has a 6.0 ERA right now, but it's one start. The bottom line is this: Yusei Kikuchi is making a difference on this team. Now, remember with me back to 2017. 2017, yes, I'll get to Chas McCormick. I'll get to the offense. When Justin Verlander came in, the fact that he came in and was a part of this team, I believe his presence had an effect on the team. If you would have told me that Yusei Kikuchi would have this residual effect where the Astros not only perform decently when he's on the mound, but he tends to dominate and the offense shows up to support. And in all 7 games, he starts his first 7 games, the Astros win. Now, he didn't get a win in all 7, but the Astros got the victory. That, to me, is as big of a bump in this lineup and on this team as Justin Verlander. And we haven't had the opportunity to see him perform in the playoffs, which it looks like right now the Astros will make the playoffs. I don't think that the Mariners catch us. I just don't see it. And I'm not being disrespectful towards them. I mean, they actually had bases loaded top of the first and they didn't score a run. So good job, St. Louis, for holding off the Mariners. But yeah, man, everybody's here. Michael's in the house. We got Jonathan. We got Susan. We got Nova Bob. I think that's how you say your name. Albert. Mama Wheelhouse is here. Michael. Devang Patel. Look, Astro Wolf Craig. We got some of the OGs in here. Maria Abi Sab. I hope I said that right. Yes, Ronel Blanco. So here's the deal. I heard Ronel Blanco usually play a closer. So I don't know what his role was in the Dominican, but they did make him into a starter and he's back in the bullpen. And I think it works. We'll talk about Ronel Blanco. But I want to get to the offense because Chas McCormick, Jose Altuve, Jeremy Pena, all these guys, they all did their part to contribute. So how did they do with runners in scoring position? I'm glad you asked. They were 6 for 16 today with runners in scoring position. That right there will get you a win. Great pitching will counter great hitting all the time. And the Houston Astros, I do believe, when it's all said and done, have what it takes to make it to the playoffs and be a clutch team in the end. Now, let's look at this. The magic number. What is the magic number? The magic number is now 17. Well, actually, it's 20 games left. So I think this might have been before. So we have 20 games left. And here's the deal. With 20 games left, right now we're 77 and 65. Actually, I think their magic number may be down to 16 for the division. The Astros are 77 and 65 with 20 games left. If they go 13 and 7, they will get to 90 wins. I don't know about you, but that's huge. I think that is huge. They could get to 90 wins. I think 90 wins easily wins this division. I don't see Seattle catching that. What do y'all think? What are y'all's thoughts? How did you like the game today? Was anybody there at the game? Blanco looked great. He started a little bit, look, remember when remember when Ronel was starting? Sometimes it took him 1 inning to get really locked in. The fact that he went 2 innings, didn't give up any runs, looked solid, looked sharp, that's huge. Because I like what they said on the broadcast. It's not about getting to the end of September. It's about being able to pitch and be effective in October. So September, yes, that's the end of the season. But at the end of the day, it's once you get to the playoffs, what matters. Are you healthy? Are you dealing? And they're getting healthy at the right time. Bregman was in there. Altuve did a phenomenal job. Before we get to one of our sponsors, this is insane. Let's look at if you look at the lineup. Sorry, I'm sitting here drawing a blank. The lineup for the Houston Astros, their first two batters, obviously, is Altuve and Alvarez. Both went 3 for 5. Okay. 3 runs by Altuve, 1 RBI by each. So that's 6 hits and 10 at bats. Your top 2 hitters are hitting 600 in this game. Jeremy Pena with 2 hits, a home run, a big 3-run home run towards the end of the game. Chas McCormick, 2 for 4. Chas McCormick, say what you want. He's contributing. He is contributing. This offense absolutely did what they needed to do. And when you look at the D-back side of it, the guys that did damage was Suarez, McCarthy, and Newman. 2 for 4, 2 for 4, 2 for 3. And Newman was one of the home runs, so was Suarez. Suarez is a guy that's just going to hit us well. I don't think he's a great player. I think he's a really good player. And I think against the Astros, he comes up big all the time. So let's talk about Ibotta and move on to the second segment. Sandals, sunscreen, snacks for the kids. What do these all have in common? Well, you'll probably be buying a ton of these this summer. Don't stress out about the cost because when you use Ibotta, you get cash back on all your purchases. When you stock up on your summer essentials, download the free Ibotta app and start earning cash back. Use the promo code LOCKEDONMLB. It's summertime, which means barbecue season. Stock up on all your grilling favorites, hot dogs, hamburgers, so much more. And not just that, it's retailers all over the place, 2,400 of them, Macy's, Lowe's, Sephora, Best Buy, and more at over 1,000 retailers. And the average Ibotta user saves or earns $256 per year. That could be an entire shopping trip, a flight you've been eyeing, and a fancy dinner you've been craving. Well, now it's time that you join over 50 million users with Ibotta and earn cash back every time they shop. Right now, Ibotta is offering our listeners $5 just for trying Ibotta by using the code LOCKEDONMLB when you register. Just go to the App Store or Google Play Store and download the free Ibotta app to start earning cash back and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's IBOTTA at the Google Play or App Store and use the code LOCKEDONMLB. That's right. Make sure you make Locked On Astros your first listen. Make Locked On MLB your second listen. Also, make sure you check out the Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor, where, look, I can tell you that with Locked On Astros podcast and the Locked On Astros postcast, there's no show that does more. No show that does a better job completely covering their team than we do here in H-Town. And yes, you're right, Jonathan Rogers. I see your comment there. We've shut Carroll down. Yeah, Carroll, I think, has he was like 2 for 23 in this series. Oh, kind of a funny stat. I just want to make a personal note. I like Julia in the announcer's chair way better than I like Jeff Bagwell. I think anytime they think Bagwell should take the chair with Callis, I think they need to put Julia in there just because so much better. And the 2 games she's called, they've won, and they scored 20 runs combined. So maybe she's a good luck charm. When Bagwell's in there, they get swept. So, yeah, hey, the proof's in the pudding, right? So they're getting hot at home. This could help power the Astros playoff push. Remember last year? Remember the home woes? Remember all that talk about the batter's eye and this and that? Well, they painted it darker. Again, here's a picture of the batter's eye right now as it stands. And then here's some more dark green that's been put up in the back. I bet you that the rest of that brick gets colored. Gosh, that does not look good, but oh well. If that's what the Astros think helped them hit, then you know what? Paint the entire outfield that color. But I want to look at my favorite thing to look at is the win probability added leaders. Yordan Alvarez with 20.8. Kevin Newman with 15.2 for the Diamondbacks. And Chas McCormick makes the top 3 for the game. Congratulations, sir. And then you have the top exit velo leaders, Ben Gamel, Yordan Alvarez, Jose Altuve. Very good. Very, very good. Jeremy Pena, longest distance home run all the way into the bullpen. That ball, it looked like it might not make it, and it just kept going. It had enough backspin apparently on it, just kept going and went right into the bullpen. Good for Jeremy Pena. Jeremy Pena needs to get hot. This team needs to get hot. But Yordan Alvarez, could getting hot at home really help? Well, remember, Yordan has typically not been good at home. He has not hit well at home. And right now, in his last few home games, he's hit really well. Not only hitting home runs, but today he didn't even hit a home run. Oh, what did he do? Oh, he just had an opposite field hit. He just was hitting lasers, 3 hits. I mean, this guy, what can he not do? What can Jordan that? Why are other teams still pitching to him? This guy can hit it to the right field upper deck, can hit it to the left field Crawford boxes, or just a little bloop double to left field, a little opposite field. And that's what Espada talked about in this post-game press conference. He likes how the Astros have approached their hitting, and they have chosen to not just pull the ball and hit the ball far and hard, but to hit the ball where the players aren't. It's just been a breath of fresh air. The last game I went to, I was sitting in right field behind the first row, right behind where Kyle Tucker typically plays in the right field. And the opposing team that was out there on the field at the time, they were all playing all of our left-handers to the right. It was the Royals, sorry. When the Royals were out there, all their outfielders, like their right fielder, if I am in section 153, he was to my right. He was basically in right center field. Not a single guy for our left-handed hitters moved close to that line. That tells me that their intel tells them that these left-handers aren't just pull hitters. If they're a pull hitter, they're probably going to hit it out. But in a lot of cases, they put the ball where the players aren't. McCormick shooting a ball through the infield. Yainer Diaz shooting a ball through the infield. Again, Jose Altuve hitting a home run. I mean, these guys getting hits throughout the game when the Diamondbacks simply were not giving up. How are the pieces we traded for Kikuchi doing? So Joey Loperfido made an adjustment to his swing, went hot for a few games. He's still not hitting very well. Will Wagner has done the best of the two offensively. He had a 4-hit game or 5-hit game. He was 3 for 3 in his first start as a rookie hitter. And then he's cooled off a little bit. And then I haven't heard much about Jake Bloss. Last I heard, he was 0-1. Look, for us to be so let's say we don't make that trade. If we don't have Yusei Kikuchi for those 7 games, let's just imagine a world without Yusei Kikuchi. I know that's painful. I know that's hard to do. But let's imagine. Let's use our imaginations. Okay, let's go back to grade school. Let's say we lose those 7 games. If we lose those 7 games, so right now we're 77-65, okay? That would put us at 70-58. 70, no. Oh, no, that would put us at 70. Yeah, I mean, dude, we wouldn't have 77 wins. We'd have 70 wins. We would be in second place. We would be not 5 games back. We would be 7 games back. So Yusei Kikuchi, the trade, y'all can say what you want about it. He is getting the job done. And yes, Altuve is on fire. Look at that, 6 for 9. Nice. With the walk, 5 runs scored. The Astros won combined 19-5. Got to stay hot. That's right, Joseph. Again, if the Astros can go 13-7 in their last 20 games, they will get to 90 wins. Not a single team will get to 100 wins in the AL. I don't know if they will get, I don't know if they'll get to the Phillies might get to 100 wins, but no one in the American League is going to get to 100 wins. They could. Well, the Phillies would have to go 15-5 in their last 20 if they have 20 left. So we'll see. Maybe they have 21. But you could see a 100-game winner in the National League. Possibly 1 or 2 teams could do that. All right, so we got one more segment. I want to talk about Ronel. I want to talk about the bullpen. I want to talk about why that's key. and kind of a head scratcher of a guy that they actually DFA'd that I don't think anyone's really said much about. We'll talk about it in our last segment next. This episode is brought to you by PrizePicks. Download the PrizePicks app today and use the code LOCKEDONMLB for $50 instantly when you play $5. That's right. It's the number one fantasy sports app. Over 5 million active users. Myself and Eric play it all the time. It is a blast. All you do is pick more or less with 2 to 6 players, stat projections, and watch the winnings roll in. It's not you against thousands of people. It's you against the numbers. And one Caleb Williams passing yard gets you 1 win in PrizePicks every week in September. That's right. Only 1 yard gets you an automatic win every football weekend in September. 4 weeks of free W's. Don't miss the deal on PrizePicks because it's gone when September ends. PrizePicks puts their members first, so all withdrawals are fast, safe, and secure. But when my picks hit, I can get the money in as quick as 15 minutes, and then you know what? I can roll it back into PrizePicks, or I can go out to eat. Look, PrizePicks is fun. Check it out today. Download the PrizePicks app today. Use the code LOCKEDONMLB and get $50 instantly when you play $5. That's LOCKEDONMLB, LOCKEDONMLB. You don't even need to win to receive the $50. It's guaranteed. PrizePicks. Run your game. All right, again, thank you for tuning in to Locked On Astros. I'm Htown Wheelhouse. Make sure you make us your first listen. Make sure you make Locked On MLB your second listen. Make sure you check out back to the ball. Sorry, make sure you check out Locked On Astros postcast with Michael Connor as well. Yeah, look, the umpires, we can complain about the umpires all we want. We know they're not perfect. We know they're not going to make good calls. They've just been bad. They keep getting worse. So I'm not even going to spend any time commenting on that. I do like this though, Blanco and Hader. Abreu, Presley, Blanco, Hader, who has a deeper back end of their bullpen. Look, man, I feel great for our bullpen. All right. I feel great. Remember, Blanco came from a relief role. They turned him into a starter. And I can tell you from my conversations, because I've had a few conversations with Ronel Blanco one-on-one, and I can tell you that his work ethic, his care and concern for what he does on the mound, and the preparation he puts into each game is really second to none, is a testimony to what kind of player he is on and off the field, what kind of person he is on and off the field. And that makes a big difference. This isn't talked about enough, but the Houston Astros have a lot of high character guys, and we have done really well. One of the analogies I can think of is I remember when Tim Duncan, and I know Tim Duncan was a San Antonio Spur, but Tim Duncan was one of the best ever played the NBA game. And he was often called soft. He was often called weak. He was, he wasn't fiery. He didn't start fights. People are like, he doesn't stand up for himself. He was in the NBA where it's still a little bit more rough and tumble and a little bit more physical than it is now, where they call a foul for breathing on a player wrong. They pretty much wussified the sport. But Tim Duncan was your silent warrior. He was the guy you wanted to go to the rim for you because you knew he would fight for you with every ounce of his being. And that's where I think someone like Ronel Blanco is, and the Astros high character guys. Yeah, you got some guys that got moxie. You got some guys that have fervor and they've got fire. Eric Getty's a little bit more boisterous than most young pitchers. Hunter Brown shows his emotion. But Ronel Blanco is just really quiet. And he does get emotional at times, but he just does his freaking job. He doesn't complain. I've never heard a complaint. I've never seen anything negative him post on any social media stuff. And just he is the right piece to this puzzle. Because look, Abreu has had it rough. At times, Presley has had it rough. And for someone like Ronel to come in the bullpen, the guy has confidence both as a reliever and now as a starter. So let's just say something happens and we get to a playoff series and somebody can't start. Maybe they get a cold. Well, if you have to throw Ronel Blanco 3 or 4 innings, he can go do that. He can do that because he's worked those innings all season long. So I absolutely love that. Yeah, look, Joseph hitting me up with the Ralph Sampson, although good wasn't Akeem Olajuwon. Oh, man, let me tell you, dude. Akeem Olajuwon, I tell my kid all the time, man, you should have been alive when Akeem Olajuwon played here. He was amazing. Michael Dunn asks, hey, what's up, Michael Dunn? Hey, this guy is look, man, hit him up on social media. Michael Dunn does it right when it comes to selling cars. Go check him out. When Kikuchi hit free agency last time, I wanted us to grab him. Glad we finally did. He's been excellent. Look, they've got to make him an offer, right? Right? I mean, the Astros have to be. Now, I really hope Kikuchi's not pricing himself out. But think about it. You want to sign Fromber. Yeah, you're welcome, Michael. You want to sign Kikuchi now. And this is why I've been saying I'm okay if we don't get Verlander back. I love Verlander. I literally am. I was in amazement just being in his presence. I've been in front of a lot of really good athletes, Hall of Famers, but I've never felt someone's presence the way I felt Justin Verlander. Like, the dude is just the man, okay? But I just think he's at this point in his career, and this Astros team they have a synergy, I think, without him. Remember that word that Eric used the other day? It's a great word, synergy. The Astros have that, and I don't think they have to have a Justin Verlander. Justin Verlander hasn't contributed the way that he wants to contribute, and I don't know that he's going to be able to. Now, I think if you get him, back on a discounted deal where it doesn't keep you from signing the other key players, then I'm okay with bringing Verlander back. But I'm not okay with bringing Verlander back, playing him 25 plus or more just to come back at his age. It's just because I think his age is catching up to him. And I absolutely think that this team going into the playoffs is set up better than any team. I mean, think about the starters. You have a conundrum, okay? You have a chess match that Joe Espada is going to have to sit down and write out. Who are my 4 starters going to be? Who is my opening playoff series starter going to be? Is it Fromber? Is it Hunter? Is it JV? Because you know JV is going to get consideration. I don't care. Now, I think it's about a 99% chance that JV gets started in game 1, whatever playoff series it is. Unless JV just continues doing what he's doing, then he probably should be the 3rd or 4th guy. But Valdez, Hunter Brown, Arrighetti, Kikuchi, Verlander. I mean, well, you got Blanco going into the bullpen. Who else has the problem of having too many excellent starters, too many guys that are doing the right things? Because of pitching, this team is squarely one of the most feared in baseball. They, mark my words, and I said it in the beginning of the season, if they turn it around, they're going back to their 8th straight ALCS. I would not be shocked. I think they're the favorite if they go to the ALCS. I think they're the favorite to make it out of the AL. And I still think they have a chance. I believe there is a real possibility that this team wins their 3rd World Series in club history. 3rd World Series in 8 seasons. That is an amazing thing to think about. And it's all coming together. The scuttlebutt about Joe Espada not doing a good job has really calmed down. Jeremy Pena is getting hot. Altuve's hitting. Kyle Tucker is back. Justin Verlander's trying to get back to form. The other pitchers are cruising. Our bullpen, for the most part, is doing what they're supposed to do. And at the end of the day, I think this is what we've all been waiting for. So just sit back, boys and girls, and enjoy the show, because it is going to be one hell of a ride going into the last 20 games. And nobody, I promise you on my word, that nobody will cover this team better than Locked On Astros. Myself and Eric got you covered. And hey, Don't forget, tickets, I don't know when they go live, but October 5th, Celebrity Home Run Derby, Jose Canseco, Johnny Manziel, Antonio Brown, King of JUCO, and more are going to be at a Celebrity Home Run Derby. I will be doing content. I will be interviewing the players. I will have field access. It's going to be fun. If you come out there, shout me out when you see me on the field. It's going to be fun. And so I will get that. I'm trying to get them on as a short-term sponsor so we can give you more and more details about the tickets. Thank y'all for showing up a second time in a row today. 2 lives. This team's too good not to have 2 lives. I mean, you guys, you girls are the real MVPs. Eric and I couldn't do anything we do without you guys helping us out, pushing us through. We've got energy to cover it. Why? Because you tune in, whether it's through headphones or watching on your phone or on your TV or on your computer. Look, do me a favor. Share our show with 3 people this week. Help us get to 20,000 subscribers. And make sure that you tell them that we are your team every single day. Mama Wheelhouse, thanks for showing up. Love you. And everyone else, y'all have a good one. Much love. Go Astros. I'm out.